Hello, everyone. My name is Ioana Zelko, and I'm a postdoc at UCLA studying dark matter with strong lensing. I have had extensive experience with high school competitions. During my time in Romania, I went to IFO, IAA, IAU, IGSO, International Outing of Olympiad in Physics, as well as pretty much any other math and physics competitions that were available to me at the time. After that, and motivated by my experience by going to these competitions, I decided to continue my studies in physics. So I went and studied physics for my university degree at MIT, and then I chose to pursue PhD in astronomy and astrophysics, which I have just completed at Harvard University. After I started my PhD, I returned to the competitions, and I served and volunteered as a coach and team leader, as well as organizer for the USA team for the International Olympiad of Astronomy and Astrophysics. Drawing from my experience, I will discuss the immense role high school competitions play in the life of the students. I will discuss 4 aspects. First, I will do a brief summary of what the process looks like from the perspective of a student with training and participation. Then I will discuss the impact on education that the competitions hope to have for the students, which include awareness of the field, as well as pure education in the field, and also observational practice. Another big aspect of the competitions is the community building. They encourage friendship, communication, and international collaboration. And finally, a big goal of these competitions is to eventually reach retention in research for the students who participate. So let us start with the competition process as seen from the perspective of the student. The first and sometimes most important step is awareness of the subject itself and the existence of the competition, combined with motivation to participate. Very often, students have never heard of the astronomy and astrophysics competitions, and they may not be aware of what the field is about or what the problems and questions in the field are like. Letting students know about the existence of the competition is a very important part of the process. The other key ingredient is motivation. Students need to be able to visualize themselves participating and to know the benefits in doing so. So being able to explain to students what are these benefits is sort of a very important challenge for the people who are trying to help organize these competitions. The next stage is the training stage. Once students have decided they're interested to participate, they normally would like to start a very intensive and nice process of training. The training process varies based on opportunities available to the students, such as the existence of local teachers and clubs. However, all the materials required by astronomy and astrophysics competitions are readily available online, which give a student the chance to successfully train if given the time. And very often independent study can be sufficient, and self-studying students have excelled in the competitions very often. This can play a role in sort of giving chances to the students from underrepresented backgrounds to kind of become experienced in the field and eventually want to pursue it later in the future as well. The next step is actual participation in the competitions themselves. Often, the competitions have different levels, such as local, national, and international. And after participating in a stage, very often students return to training, either in preparation for the next stage, if they qualified, or for the next year's edition. And this cycle allows them to chisel their skills in the subject. Finally, in the last step, participating students graduate high school and become alumni of the program. Students who become alumni of the program often form a support network for students, as well as peers during the next levels of studies. up and beyond the PhD level. So they are able to help each other as they go to university, and then they build towards sort of the practical needs and describe the process of applying to a PhD. In addition, they also often give back to the high school competition programs by volunteering to train younger students and help with the organization of the program itself. These here are only a fraction of the many alumni of the high school competitions who have given back to the program by coaching, creating test problems, organizing, and advising students. Perhaps the most important aspect of the high school competitions is their impact on education. This survey shows the responses of 82 students participating in the global e-competition in astronomy and astrophysics, an online high school competition that was conducted in 2020 to replace IAA during the pandemic. The overall picture reflected in the answers was that the student had a positive experience and that the goals of GECA were achieved. For example, to the question shown here in purple, which is please rate your overall experience participating in GECA on a scale from 1 to 5, spanning poor to great, 98% of survey participants gave a ranking greater than or equal to 3. And for the question shown here in pink, please rate how strongly you feel GECA made a positive impact on your view of astronomy and astrophysics. 94% of respondents gave a ranking greater than or equal to 3, with 43% choosing the maximum ranking of 5. Qualitatively, students describe the GECA experience with phrases such as feeling like a scientist, solving fun challenges, and having an overall fun and rewarding experience, which is basically exactly what one hopes to achieve in these competitions. Aside from theoretical experience, competitions also give students the chance to explore the observational and practical part of astronomy. Students often get a chance to engage with telescopes and learn to observe the sky with them. Very important aspect of the competitions is that they help build community. Through the training and participation process, students often develop many friendships, many of which last into the next stages of their life and create support network and community in their academic journey. In students' feedback, they said they appreciated learning from each other, as well as learning the value of teamwork. Most importantly, the competitions at the international level bring together many countries, such as, for example, is the case for IAA, who receives participants from 46 countries, or IFO, who gets 85 countries. This helps students become accustomed to and develop international collaborations, which are very important for many of their future careers. Which brings us to the fourth point, which is that competitions play a role in research retention in the long term and serve as a pipeline for a career in research. One of the most important aspects of this is that competitions expose students to research questions and get them thinking about challenges they would like to pursue in science. For example, problems that can be created and are created from straight from research applications, such as gravitational waves detection, where students had to go through solving all the way through the chirping process, or another problem where they had to learn how to use transit timing variations and transit duration variations to detect exomoons. In addition, competitions provide networks necessary to educate students early on the path to research, and they create a community of researchers and mentors who are available to support them through this process. Actually, many alumni of the Astronomy and Astrophysics Olympiad programs have pursued studies of math, physics, and astrophysics in college, and have even pursued PhDs and beyond. Here I have pictured only a few of my peers who went with me to competitions in 2008, and who are now in their 30s doing science and math research. In conclusion, through the training and participation program, competitions bring an important impact on education, where they increase awareness of astronomy and astrophysics, as well as directly educate students in the field and provide opportunities for observational practice. They also contribute to community building by encouraging friendship, communication, and international collaboration. And finally, they play a role in research retention by creating a pipeline for a career in research. Thank you very much for listening to the presentation. And if you have any questions, please ask. And also feel free to reach out through email or social media. Thank you very much.